even if Islam is good and I'm wrong, being anti-Islam is just disagreeing with it because I think this is what it stands for, right? And then also, then once we move past that, then the best way to demonstrate how Islam and Muslims are different, in my, at least from my perspective, is to explain that to me, even if every single Muslim in the world was the best human being ever, okay, so forget Islam. This is what I would say. Imagine if there was a book that said, go into the land and rape and murder everyone that you can. That was the main commandment of this book. Okay. And there were, I don't know, a million people that said that this is their book. They believe in it. And this is a message from their God. And everything in this book is true. And then at the same time, they didn't do that. They didn't kill anybody, not a single one of them. Like there has a million people who claim that they love this book and they follow it, and this is the word of God. And every single person that says that, they don't kill anybody, they rape. This is hypothetical because that's not reality. Obviously, and as many Muslims do follow Islam, and this is why we have ISIS and Al Qaeda, and we have like the Islamic Republic and Taliban and all of that. In this hypothetical situation, if none of these, all of these 1 million people who said they believe in this book, they were all of them the best, the most decent person ever. If I come and tell you that, okay, this book is shit, this book is garbage, do you think that I'm denying how good and decent these 1 million people are? For some reason, it seems like they haven't not read it, they haven't taken seriously, or they misunderstand it. For whatever reason, even though this book is teaching you garbage, a garbage moral system, these people are not following. So my judgment when I say Islam is garbage, is violent, is anti-human, I'm not judging every single individual Muslim. All I'm judging is I'm reading the Quran and I'm reading the Hadith and I'm basically understanding it not just as it seems to. I'm not just judging it based on what it seems to be saying. I'm judging it based on 1400 years of Islamic scholarships, people who have Arabic was their native tongue, and they spent their entire life basically interpreting the Quran and the Hadith. For about 1400 years, the interpretation that seems to be the direct message of the Quran has been consistent. With regards to, this is a religion that teaches you that you can't rape children, that you can capture women in war as sex slaves, right? That you should be killing dogs if they're black, and dogs are impure, and you should be away from. You should stay away from them. That you should be beating up your wife if she's not being obedient to you. If you fear disobedience from her, as long as you try two other steps. Like these are not. If you read the Quran and Hadith, there is no interpretation that could save this. And even if you think there is, then why is it that people who spoke Arabic and it was their job to interpret the Quran and Hadith, this was the consistent interpretation of these books for 1400 years? And only now in modern times, where we have, where with the Western moral system has now dominated the planet, only now do we come up with new interpretation that seems to suggest that maybe these verses meant something else. So when I'm judging Islam, I'm not judging people, I'm judging the books, I'm judging the source material. That's what I'm doing. This is what I would explain to people, and I would try to separate this. And I also suggest that, to me, Muslims are the victims of Islam. So I don't hate Muslims, I consider them as victims. So how could, if I hate cancer, nobody will come and tell me like, what the hell, Armin, my friend is is my friend is a cancer patient, what do you have against my friend? Like, what the hell, what are you talking about? Like, obviously hating cancer is not the same as hating the cancer patient. So for us, if we're anti-Islam, well, Muslims are the victims of Islam, so that does not translate to hating Muslims. Shona, what do you think?
I mean, some of it is step 1 is easy because I've been very, very friendly with her friend who's Muslim, and I've,
Right.
said positive things. So that's not that step 1's complete.
Right.
So that's good. I'm thinking more in a I guess what I didn't kind of define well enough, because I was trying to set up this example, is in a mass media environment where people like my mother are going to be getting feedback. If all I have from that experience is my friend, my neighbor, my colleague, whatever, is this really kind, sweet, generous person, then I might feel instinctually protective. And I say this especially as somebody because I'm Mormon. There is, and she's also Mormon. There's going to be an instinct to protect religious minorities, whether or not that's rational. That's going to be the baseline instinct.
Right.
So that is another factor
So
in all of that.
I don't know if this helps, but by trying to protect Muslims from from anti-Islamic views, we're actually hurting them, right?
I agree.
So yes, because the level of, you know, there's something called desensitization, and we're basically treating them like, I think this is what I would say. I think like it's insulting to Muslims to try to protect them from hearing opposing views, right? It's you basically treating them as these little snowflakes who can't handle disagreement. And I think that's insulting to Muslims, right? And I feel like I would say, like, wow, I have actually more respect for Muslims than you, because I actually think that Muslims could handle somebody disagreeing with their religion. Are you telling me, like, are you being protective? Like, do you really think that Muslims are that pathetically weak that we need to basically like hold their ears for them to all of a sudden not hear anybody having a view against Islam? Like, why don't we do that with other people? We don't do that with Christians and Jews. Like, we do that with Islam. Like, are we like we have such
That's
a low view? Yeah.
only going to work for atheists. I'm sorry to like interrupt. That's only going to
Mm.
work for atheists, because for
That has
religious
worked with
people.
Muslims. No, I have talked to Muslims, and Muslims were convinced by them. When I tell a Muslim that I think that they're tough enough, they have a thick enough skin to be able to handle my disagreements. More Muslims have been receptive of my disagreements with Islam by telling them that. So this
Okay.
has worked with Muslims for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Shauna, can I come in? I'm sorry. Can I come into this?
Just one second, Shai. Like, like this shows, like, when I say that to a Muslim, they feel like, well, if they show, if they're sensitive, like if they don't listen, if they are not tolerant, they're basically demonstrating weakness, right? So it's a compliment, but it's also a challenge. When you frame it like that, then you would basically make them want to prove that, yeah, okay, yeah, I can accept criticism. So it comes off as a challenge and a compliment at the same time.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
but
I
it's
that does help a lot. I need to think about a little bit more how I need to formulate where the triggers are, but I need to think about
mm.
that. So we'll do that in a different day. But I'm happy to hear his response.
Yeah, keep it short, Shy, if you can, please.
Okay, very short. Every religion has its beautiful parts and it's got its baggage. Okay, so even if you look at your own religion, let's say
Mm.
Mormonism, you can challenge Christians that are not
What's the
Mormon around,
beautiful? No,
right?
no, 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 no. Wait a minute, Shy. What's the beautiful parts of Islam? Educate me.
Okay, some religions have way more baggage than others, okay? But when I say
Okay.
that Judaism has beautiful parts to it and baggage, I'm not making it new to anybody. I mean, Judaism has beautiful parts to it and baggage. Christianity, if you talk about, the in the Middle Ages when they did the Crusades, they killed Jews on the way to trying to, fight the whatever, the Muslims. Or uh, I'm sorry, I'm getting it's just an example, right? In my opinion, personally, when the Christians send crusades, maybe they had a good idea, but on the way they found Jewish community that they slaughtered also. So there's a lot of baggage to the religions, okay, and to Judaism too. There's a lot of baggage. There's some criticism I can tell you about Judaism too, even though I'm Jewish and I love Judaism too. But and if you look at the discussion, the interreligious discussions, I think the main thing to say is this: when a religion tries to force itself on others, that's when it crosses a red line. And Islam is trying to force itself on others. way more than other religions.
Even if a religion does not try to force its way on other people, if it's giving you bad advice for life, even without force, that's harmful. Okay, if it said like, hey, this is just a suggestion, you could follow this, and it becomes very popular and it's not forcing its way on everyone, if those suggestions are bad suggestions, that is still harmful.
Sure, but I have the will to say no. But if somebody forces it on me, that's a whole other ballgame.
Yeah, but it makes sense for people to go out and try to fight that religion for, because you might have the will and many other people might become convinced by it, right?
I agree. I mean, there's levels to this.
Yeah, I could be like, "Hey, this cures cancer," and I could have poison in it. I like, is this fine? Because I'm not forcing it on anybody. I'm just like, "Hey, you could drink it and you could not drink it. It cures cancer, but it's poison." Like, I'm gonna try to stop that person, even if it's not forcing anybody. Going around and telling this cures cancer while it has poison in it, I'm gonna go try to stop that person.
Okay, one short analogy. You can be a scammy marketer, scamming people out of their money. That's one level. Or you can be a criminal shooting people on the streets. That's another level. I agree
You should
both
stop.
are
You should
wrong.
stop. You should stop both of these people. That's
Both.
what I'm
I
saying.
agree. Yes.
Yeah.